Tatted for my feet up. VIP, we meet up. Gotta pour some liquor. Gotta roll some weed up.
That's what I need to do, actually.
Pour
Get
some liquor?
tatted up. Well, I already
Same.
did that.
Oh, man. Same.
But I definitely need to get a tat here soon. My
Yeah.
birthday's coming up. I actually got a coupon. $100 off tattoo.
Oh, damn. Go fucking balls to the wall.
I think I'm just going to use that. That's a small thing, though. I'm just going to do a little touch-up in that behind this.
Yeah.
And then start the forearm finally.
The forearm.
Well, I've been saying this for 6-7 years. So.
Yeah, I definitely want to get some new ink.
Yep.
Get some fresh ink. I need some ink
168.
therapy. It is 168. We live.
Just like looking around.
We out here, baby.
It's going to be left, right fucking there.
Bear, what you looking at?
He's like, just staring around.
Just being a dog. Doing what dogs do. For the dogs. Dropping this week on Friday, probably.
You excited for it?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm excited.
Drake is one of them,
Drake
he's probably
is-
one of my
yeah,
favorite
Drake
artists
is Drake.
of all time.
Like,
He's probably top 5 in my
anytime
all-time list.
Drake is about to drop music, everyone perks up. Like,
They sure do.
you're interested. I mean, love him or hate him, you're gonna listen.
Of course. He's one of the biggest artists in the world, so
That he is.
So, people are going to tune in to see what's going on in
What
good
kind of
old
masterpiece
Drizzy's
he could put
head.
out.
We'll see. I mean, they're teasing that there's going to be a fucking giant feature on there that's going to be ground shaking, industry fucking
It's a
shattering
it's a
shit.
Push a feature.
That would be fucking wild. That would be some shit. A lot of people are speculating that it's going to be Frank Ocean, but if it was fucking Pusha T, that would be some shit. And what if it's just them going back and forth, dissing each other?
That'd be fucking awesome for the dogs.
That
That would be for
fucking
the dogs.
wild.
Like,
Oh, man. That would.
that would be
Oh,
awesome.
shit. Yeah, that would be some fucking industry fucking shattering shit.
Yeah,
Some
it would.
groundbreaking stuff. But
'cause, I mean, he's done his things with Kanye. He's done his things with, pretty much everybody else. He's had features from.
He's had
Not everybody,
he's had
but-
songs produced by Kanye and but he's never really had like a song where they're both rapping on there with Kanye. Not that I can think of.
Eminem and Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fucking I want this shit forever, man.
Yep.
Yeah, but does that
since
really fucking count?
Since that time.
That's so long ago.
It is.
And Drake was still he was still obviously he was still establishing himself but obviously
Yeah, he
Drake
wasn't
amongst seasoned vets
Correct.
like that, but still.
correct. He's always held his own. Like, even from the beginning, he came into the game and already set the tone. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
he
this
came
is,
into
this
the
is
game
where
like
I
a
am.
veteran.
This is what I'm doing.
He says it. I'm the rookie and the vet.
We're just quoting Drake right now.
Bro, Drake, he's a dog for all the dogs.
But yeah, definitely excited for that.
Oh, speaking of dogs, one's getting up and sniffing around, doing what he does. Good old bear. I love him.
But so that's gonna drop Friday the 25th.
Probably, yeah.
Then 2 days later, you got good old National Cinema Day.
Bro, who goes to the fucking movie theaters anymore anyways? I haven't. The last time I went was to see Ant-Man, the last one that came out. That's Ant-Man 2? The Wasp.
Quantum. No, it's like
The Quantum Leap, Quantum Realm
yeah, something
with
like that.
fucking good old
I didn't-
Johnny
I didn't even-
Majors.
I didn't even see it, honestly, but
They have him returning as Kang, so, I guess he beat the allegations.
good.
The major allegations. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Go back and check that episode out.
It's a good episode. But I was just bringing up the National Cinema Day because it's apparently over 3,000 different movie theaters plan on pricing their tickets at $4.
Yeah.
So
The good old days.
it's it's one of two things. Movie theaters, like you said, are dying. Who's going to them? So I'm guessing they're doing this for business, or it's just them trying to get some sort of
Fuck yeah,
life
I'll go
in
to-
there.
Well, you said that was the 27th?
Yeah.
When is that, a Saturday?
I think it's
Sunday?
this Sunday.
Fuck, I'll go to the movies.
It'll cost you $4.
I wonder if fucking this one right here is doing it. I wonder how can you check? Did they show how you can
That
check?
I don't know.
If they have a website or a list
link to
of,
it?
yeah.
They didn't show that.
Type in your zip code.
They just showed that over 3,000 movie theaters around the U.S. were going to participate.
The USA. El
So-
USA.
That'd be pretty cool to find out which ones. But for speaking of which, for Dennis or like other movie goers and avid
Steven Krebs, he's a big movie goer.
Avid people that, you know, because seeing a movie in the theaters versus streaming it and seeing it in your own house, completely different things.
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
you get that going to the movies feel like it's like the nostalgia of once you were a kid.
That
like
and you feel it inside, like when
yeah,
it's
plus
like
the
a
surround
fucking,
sound, everything's
when it's
like
a loud fucking movie, shit's going on, you feel it in your soul.
Yeah, and depending what movie theater you go to, Winter Park Village or like some of the other
the IMAX, the downtown one,
some of the other like big movie theaters with like real nice seats or reclining seats, or some that even like for some action movies like they'll like tremble a little bit or vibrate a little bit.
Yeah,
that's fucking a whole different experience. That's not like a simple like sitting on a couch, you know. Granted, streaming has kind of ruined that experience because it's like everyone watches, you know, Netflix, Hulu, HBO. Like, I mean, shit, there's hundreds of streaming services.
Which, I mean, speaking of the fucking HBO, or not HBO, Netflix put out the Swamp Kings, the fucking 2008
nice.
Florida Gators documentary. So I definitely want to watch that. I've kind of already heard some kind of that they kind of whitewashed it a little bit and are watered it down a little bit. But I'll probably watch that tonight and see. Yeah, I mean, there was some wild shit going on, but finally, people have been fucking
Aaron Hernandez, Tim Tebow, like they had a squad.
The Ponce twins, fucking Brandon Spikes, Janoris Jenkins, Joe Hayden, fucking Lewis Murphy. I mean, I'm a Florida fan, so like.
And you had the two different sides of the spectrum right there. You have Tim Tebow,
praise
Aaron
God,
Hernandez,
hallelujah, killing,
gang banging, praising God,
bro,
all in one team.
And they won a natty.
And they were winning.
They won a fucking natty.
They were doing the damn thing.
Fuck what you heard, but yeah, I mean, fair point. There is, yeah.
But
movies have been dying. I mean, COVID kind of did that.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, movies have been dying for a long time. Movie theaters, correct. Movies, everyone loves movies. All right, let's not get shit twisted here. Everyone still loves movies.
Recently, that was the first time. Oh, the fucking Breakfast Club.
I mean, but movies though, a lot of people, I don't know, because movies. I love movies, but I mean, some of these TV series have kind of trying to take a little bit of the movie thunder because like they're basically just expanding on the same story.
Well, the thing
but
with
a lot longer.
And we've talked about this before. The thing with movies is that you only have 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and at that point people are kind of like
like movies that are like 3 hours and 3+. Like people
are like fuck, like
kind of
fucking Star Wars. Even Batman, the new one that just came out, like I liked it, but like there was points in that movie where I'm just like, holy fuck, like just end it. Like this is taking too long. With TV shows, you can do an hour, get 10 episodes, get 10 hours, and do more. Like they're doing that with Harry Potter. They're redoing Harry Potter, and I think I was talking with somebody that they're going to do it like in a series form.
TV series.
So they'll be able to, because in the first couple movies, I mean in all the movies, they can't really have all the detail that they have in the books. So when they do it as a series, they'll be able to add the little extra stuff that were in the books and shit like that. But
I mean, because think, what's it? They probably have what? I'm guessing each Harry Potter movie is over 2 hours or got to be close to it.
It's got to be close to it or around it. I know
that's like
some
14,
of them are probably pushing
we'll say like
3
14, 15 hours to describe a Harry Potter story versus if they do, like you're saying, a series where every season, say they take a book and that's one season,
Yeah. Even if they do like 8 episodes, that's 8 hours as opposed to fucking trying to cram everything in 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Granted, I don't know how I feel though, because like growing up, I never read like the books.
I had like my 4th grade teacher. She read it. Or second grade.
Don't get me wrong. I had the books. Yeah. Like I had, and that's actually something I want to do is get like a lot of the childhood series like in books as well as movies. Like I want to buy like the sets.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Harry Potter. I want to buy a set of all the movies and all the books. For Game of Thrones, I would buy all the books, all the seasons. For what's another one I wanted to do?
Series of Unfortunate Events. That was a good book series. Those series
did read that book.
Those ones I actually read.
Yeah, those books.
That was another one that our teacher would read it to us in class, and then
Jim
like
Carrey.
after we fucking went on to the next grade, those are books I actually continue to read on my own. And I don't read a lot, so
I read that in 3rd grade.
Tid, great.
But
Tid. What other fucking
I knew it was one more that I wanted to do. Oh, Narnia.
Narnia.
I saw someone with like the books, and I was like, "Oh shit!" In a customer's house the other day, I was like, "Fucking
Good old
Narnia!"
Fucking Narnia.
That threw me. I was like, "Damn,
a
Narnia."
nice little library.
Yeah.
Damn, Narnia. Those were pretty good movies too.
But
Those books I never read, but the movies I watched.
Yeah, I watched the movies. I didn't read Narnia. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Miss me with that
I
bullshit.
ain't the biggest reader, but going off this National Cinema Day, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, like of all time.
Yeah. Or like you could give, even if it's not like an exact movie, like your favorite movie series or your favorite like.
Man, that's hard because
It
me,
is hard,
I don't really be watching movies like that. So, I mean, the first one that comes to my head is 300, but that's like some fucking. That's some
Violence.
dude shit.
That's
like the
that's
typical
awesome.
dude answer. 300.
I mean,
I fucking love that movie.
If we were gonna go typical dude answer, I was gonna think mine would be Scarface.
Scarface, great movie. First time I watched that was with my grandfather. God rest his soul. Love that man. But yeah, he fucking sat me down and fucking. We're watching this. That was the same thing with The Godfather. My stepdad sat me down and we watched the first two Godfathers together.
Yeah, my dad too. He was like, "All right, there's gonna be parts in this kind of bad." He just told me like that. Like going into it, I have no idea what I'm going into.
Is this?
I was like 12 years old. I had asked him to like watch it, and he was like, "All right, there's gonna be parts where you might want to close your eyes, but it's up to you." And I was like, I watched all that shit, and I was
It's
like,
up to you. Oh my god.
the chainsaw, seeing that for the first time as a kid, you're like,
holy shit.
fuck. But
Seeing some boobies, that was nice.
that's always a fun time. I always loved when because movies were a huge thing when I was a kid. Like, my dad had, I'm talking thousands of DVDs. Like we had stacks upon stacks.
Thousands.
We had. My dad literally.
That's a lot of fucking
you
movies.
saw his records, for instance. He had twice that in DVDs.
Holy shit.
And my dad has close to 1,000 records. 1,000 vinyl records.
Damn, that's pretty dope.
So when you go to DVDs, he fucking had more than vinyl.
Yeah.
And that shit, bro, we had, like I'm saying, we had stacks upon stacks. Like we had, my mom used to have like cutouts in the wall, and we would stack them up fully. So like you could see all the cases, all the covers. So you could like go through and pick what you want.
Like a library.
But like we would watch, for instance, movies as a kid, like all the James Bond movies, Austin Powers, and like if certain scenes or certain bad things would happen, they'd be like, "Cover your eyes," and I'm over here.
Yeah, I remember
Every
one
time.
time specifically that we were in. My dad took us to the movie theater and we went to go watch X-Men, and I think it's the second one where they have like a fucking. It's a PG-13 sex scene, so like they don't show anything; they're just making out. But like I would always remember when shit like that would happen, my dad would just like this to me, his fucking thick ass hand just on my little baby head.
You're like, ah!
And then
Try to cover your face mid fucking
fucking real shit. They were fucking, or they were trying to at least. Wolverine and fucking what's her name? Fucking Jean, fucking the girl who turns into Phoenix. I forget her fucking Jean Grey, I think is what it is. But yeah, they had the
X-Men
hots.
in fucking.
They had the
years.
hots for each other.
That'd be a good series to get to. Like,
I heard the newer ones kind of fucking were not that good. Bless you, buddy.
he's like,
He's like, oh shit, that fucking woke me up. Oh, another one. Bless you again.
Interesting.
What are you, Hitler? Fucking Gesundheit.
That's like that.
Well, I mean, Bear might be half German Shepherd, so that actually might be fitting. I think he's half German. We know he's Beagle for sure. We just don't know what he's mixed with. I would say German Shepherd.
Coat would imply that,
but there's also Rottweiler that has that same coat. Doberman that has that same coat, but like he kind of has the body of a German Shepherd. Yeah. He's just a little smaller.
Doesn't necessarily lean like them though. You know how like they have like hip issues, German Shepherds.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily hip issues, but they'll like lean on you.
But he's fucking whiny as hell, like a beagle. I'll tell you that. But I love him.
Dogs.
The best. Man's best friend. He's been there for me through thick and thin. Well, unlike some other people.
Well, going on. We're just segueing through the episode here. Growing up in a 2-parent home versus a single-parent home.
Boom.
How do you think that, what are the pros and cons of that?
Well, I mean...
Because you technically...
I mean, I did for a little bit. So, and the thing, I don't really remember my like parents being together. They got divorced when I was 3, so there was a year, and that's when I started kind of like, because I was 3 years old, so then that's when I started kind of like my memory started like I can remember shit. So I remember like living with my mom and my sister, and it was an apartment, but like I'm 3 years old, so I didn't really have like any perspective or any like
knowing what it was.
Yeah, like I didn't know we were broke.
Oh.
I didn't know any better. Obviously, like we had like no furniture, just a little like TV with an entertainment center, and like we had shit in our room, but like no couch, no dining table, none of that shit. Like I didn't know what being broke was. No. And then a year later,
you never do.
Yeah, and then a year later, pretty much, my mom got married to my stepdad. And yeah, so I was in a single parent home for a little bit, but I never grew up in a single parent home. But like, I feel like the statistics show like growing up in a home with 2 parents usually leads to less resentment, less childhood trauma in the sense of like I didn't have my dad there, or I didn't have my mom there, and like there are certain things that people weren't teaching me, and I had to learn on my own. Which even in my case, like I did have my stepdad there, but me and him had our own, had our fucking relationship. It was what it was. Yeah, and my dad the same. So I had, that in that aspect, I kind of had to figure out, what it is to be a man on my own, and like, things like that. And not to say that I didn't have those type of examples, and not that I didn't like take some stuff from my stepdad, take some stuff from my dad, take some stuff from my grandfathers, and trying to like,
piece it all together.
Yeah, exactly. See, so.
Going off that, I feel like I kind of did the same. Like your kids are very impressionable, so you see examples, and then like the older you get, then you kind of realize, all right, this was someone who they were doing this right, or this is someone who wasn't doing something right.
You start sifting through the bullshit.
Yeah, you kind of piece together your own way of what you think is right.
Yep.
And that's how you kind of become your own man, as a sense. Like even if you do have that strong male figure, that strong, male role model in your life, it's not like, because kids, don't get me wrong, like I've said it on the podcast before, your heroes and like who you grow up idolizing and who you look at is your dad. If you have a dad around, that's who you're fucking gonna want to be like.
Yeah.
And then you hear from like other sides, oh, don't be like your dad or all this and that. And then you got to kind of use your own judgment to like figure out why or what parts of my dad can I be like,
Yeah.
And then, but like you said, fucking, you get pieces from a bunch of people. You get pieces from your grandparents. For instance, I was in Boy Scouts, so like I saw other people's dads doing certain shit, and I was like, oh, like they taught me, life lessons without even trying.
And that's something that like from a young age, that's something that I definitely I wouldn't say that I was jealous of some of my friends, but I was a little envious because I would see like some of my closer friends that I grew up with, and I saw that I would get kind of like, damn, like they have such a good relationship with their dads, and like I see them joking around and having fun, and like you see the bond that they have, and it's kind of like, damn, that seems kind of nice. Like I want that. Like I wish I had that. And that was something that like there was a few times in my life that I can like pinpoint exactly where I was like, damn, like that seems nice.
Damn.
That seems nice. Yeah. That's harsh realities of life.
That's fucked.
Harsh realities of life. But like again, like, where I'm at my point in my life, like in this very moment, I'm not everything's not worked out exactly how I thought it would be, but how I am as a person and how I feel like I go about life and how I take on life, I wouldn't change it. Like, now I'm at a point where
view on certain things.
Yeah, just like it gave me a lot of perspective at a young age. It gave me a lot of, kind of knowing. That was kind of like the start of
the
like
training wheels.
Yeah, that was the start of me piecing together the vision that I want for my life, essentially. And part of that is that when I do have a child, when I bring a child into this world, like I want to have that type of relationship with my kids, whatever, that like obviously there's going to be a level of respect, but like I want them to come to me. I want them to feel comfortable to come to me and talk to me. And like, again, I'm at that point with my dad now that like he is someone that I can talk to and confide in. And, you know, he's someone that in my adult life, in my adult years, like he's someone that I have been more willing to open up emotionally and kind of, you know,
and have him guide you
exactly.
or help you.
And even if it's just someone that I feel comfortable, that even if I do show that side of me, that I know he's not going to judge me.
Right.
And he's not going to, you know, look at me differently or whatever. And, you know, so like I said, I wouldn't change any of it at this point. Like, you know, do I wish things could have been a little different? Sure. But like I said, like where I'm at in my life and how I am as a person and how I treat people and my perspective on life and my outlook, like, you know, it might not have been the same if, you know, if certain thing, you know, what if my parents did stay together? Maybe my outlook on life would have been a little different. You know, I still feel like I would have been the same type of person. Like I feel like I'm a pretty, you know, understanding, non-judgmental. Like I'm not gonna sit here and fucking you make a bad choice. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking shit on you about it. Like we all fuck up. Yeah. You know, I'll listen to you and like, you know, I feel like I'm pretty good with letting
reasonable
people.
Person.
Yeah.
Like everybody has their, you know, their crossing point, and like you can't cross that. Yeah. But I mean,
and even then,
I know you very well.
Even then, like I'm very forgiving with certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get to a certain point with people, friends, family, romantically, like I can be forgiving to a fault, and that's something that I have to work on. That's something that I feel like I have to work on because then, you know.
I feel like this is more of a therapeutic episode than how I initially viewed it, but I like it. Let's keep going.
No, but I mean, like,
for instance, let's go back to. I'm going to touch base on something you said. So when you do bring kids into the world, your relationship with them, you want it to be more, like you said, like since you didn't have that relationship with your father yet, you want to be more of like that male figure from the jump. Like
from the jump,
they know to come to you.
They know they can come to me, like
look and confide in you.
And also, that's something that I, you know, growing up and going through like my teen years and puberty and all that shit, like I lost fear for male figures very young in my life. So that was something that like I had a problem with authority at one point in my life, and I was like,
I mean,
it happens. Like it's
every youthful person. Yeah, but
does. Like I lost it like before I started like going through all the puberty and all that shit. When you start going through your attitude phase and all that, like
yeah, no one could tell you shit because no one had told you shit to
exactly. And the only person that I was really scared of was my mom. But again, like I love my mother to death, but that fucking
that comes and goes.
That fucking left quick.
That comes and goes. The minute you start growing, that comes and goes.
Yeah, well,
as a man, like every man who listens to this will know, like we all love and respect our mothers, but as soon as you start growing up and like realizing, all right, physically you can't really hurt me, and
there's not really much you can tell
emotionally you can say whatever, but like that doesn't work.
But it's like you're my mom. I know you fucking love me. Like you're just saying that shit.
You love me more than anyone else. So
exactly.
It's like, so me, it was a little different because my dad's crazy. So like he did kind of scare me a little bit, but at the same time, I never lived in technically a single parent home. Like I didn't grow up in that.
Yeah.
Did I live in it? Yes. From when I was, 14, 15, maybe 16. Mm-hmm. I was like 15 or 16 actually. And that's when my parents split up. Mm-hmm. So like I did finish high school technically with a single parent at home. Like it was just my mom who was worried about my grades, my mom who was worried about if I'm going to school. Yeah. Like my dad, like me and my dad have always had the swant relationship. Like I've always connected with him through sports and like athletically and physically, like us doing stuff. Like, oh, you want to go to the gym? Oh, you want to go play basketball? Oh, you want to go do this? Like even shooting pool. Like as a kid, like he would pick me up and I'd be in pool halls as a fucking like 8-year-old kid. And that's why I became a pool shark. We hustled some people, but I would play pool as a
valuable kid. Lessons.
and like that's something like. See, I want to do all those same things with my kid, but I want to connect on a deeper level than just
for sure
knowing that, like, Because my dad was a great provider, but he wasn't necessarily always there for the little shit.
But that's I feel like that's also a generational thing too, especially with your dad since he's a little older. Like that's something
yeah,
that
my dad's 66, so I mean, he came from Cuba. His whole thing was, I need to provide.
Yeah,
it wasn't
like, I don't have a choice.
Oh, I'm not here to support you emotionally.
Yeah.
Like you figure that shit out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make all the money I can to support you and your sisters. So I get it. Like I get where he came from.
It's a different, and that was kind of like how it was with my stepdad. That he comes kind of from that same. He's 60. 60. He just turned 61. So he comes from that same type of generation of like, speak when you're spoken to, like shut the fuck up, like I'm putting food, roof, clothes on, like all that shit. And again, I fucking growing up at the time, I was like, damn, fuck you, you're an asshole. But like obviously, like now it's like
once you grew up, you got it.
Like I appreciate it. It's like
And I mean, this wasn't just recently. You got this like
this was like in my early 20s that I started figuring out. Like there was a phase where I started
I feel like a decade ago. Honestly, you probably
I was just about.
I feel like once you were even a senior, like leaving high school, before you moved, I felt like you kind of knew your relationship stood.
Again, I learned a lot of things from the lack of relationship, I guess, from a male figure in my life. But it put a lot of stuff in perspective. Although I did hold a lot of resentment until I was about like 21, 22, I still understood like, all right, he's doing a lot of stuff that my own dad isn't providing for me. Like, I might not be the biggest fan. We might not, get along all the time, but when push comes to shove, I know who's going to have my back.
Yeah,
and he still does. He still does. Through the, him and my mom got divorced, all that, he still has my back. So,
it goes to
I
show,
take it
like,
for what it is.
What his character is.
Yeah, it's like I don't put and I do this. I take this as a life thing. I don't put expectations on people that I know they can't meet. I know that my stepdad, I know how he shows his love and his appreciation. It's not through emotion. It's not through hugging and having deep conversation and all that. That's not who he is. So I don't put that expectation on him, because then I'm just setting myself up for disappointment.
In a sense.
So it's like, why would I?
Once you understand a person, it's a lot easier to gauge them.
And like he was in my life since I was 4 years old. So like, it's
over
like,
20 years, he didn't turn his back on you. So
it's like he might
not have liked you all the time, but he was there for you.
I didn't like him all the time either. So, and again, like for my dad, that was someone that that we've been able to build this relationship. He is someone that I can go to with my emotional problems, if I'm feeling some type of way about something, if I'm coming into some type of crossroad in my life, like mentally, as far as like manhood, like what I should be doing and things like that. And he is someone that I can bounce ideas off. But for a long time there, because through about like 7th grade to pretty much halfway through senior year, almost like me and him had like almost zero relationship. Like we weren't talking. Like he wasn't involved in my life really much at all. So like I did have a lot of resentment towards him as to like, why, like what the fuck, bro? Like
what did I do to deserve
for
this?
real? Like
what did I do?
And like, I'm not trying to air out anybody or air too much out, but like, my little brother, I love him to death, but he has been he's had his own how can I put this? He's had his own issues and his own problems and things like that. And that was part of the resentment, is that like I felt like I was doing more. I was in sports. I was, although my grades weren't all that well, it's not like I was a bad kid. And I always felt like, damn, like I'm here, like I'm over here trying to do something with myself and shit like that, and you're like not paying me any mind, and you're putting a lot of attention over here to someone that like, and again, I love my brother to death. I will fucking take a bullet for my little brother. But like, there's also certain things, once you get to a certain point in your life as an adult, it's like, okay, well, you got to start, you got to start taking responsibility for shit. And I never felt like he really gave me that chance to like really, and not even just my dad, my grandparents as well. My, a lot of the adult figures in my life, I never felt like they really took me under their wing. I always felt like I was kind of passed along. Like, I would be, so a good example of that was our freshman and sophomore year.
It's getting deep.
Yeah. our freshman and sophomore year, I would go over to my grandparents' house on my mom's side every day after school, whether it was in season, in football season, afterwards, and that's when I was getting my best grades. Halfway through sophomore year, they were retired. They decided to retire and move over to Spain. Hey, they put in the fucking work. Again, like I've been able to, reconcile a lot of these things within myself, and I understand. Like they put in the work. They worked hard to get to where they're at in their life. So, but at the time, it's like, damn, like I'm doing so good. Like I'm doing good in school. I'm excelling in the sport that I want to excel in. Like you guys are helping me, stay on top of me so I can get my grades to where I need them to be so I can get to the next level. And then after they left, I just kind of felt like they just kind of pushed me off to, back to, my mom and my stepdad, and shit was kind of like, there was a lot of turmoil and a lot of shit going on, and they just kind of let me do whatever the fuck I wanted. So I felt like, it's like, well, like, why is nobody, like, there's potential here. Like, why is nobody fucking,
help me.
Exactly. But, then again, a lot of that comes from, too, like, how I was able to reconcile that was, listen, my parents were young parents. My dad was a month from being 17, and my mom was 18 years old. Like, being able to see where my parents are now and, like, seeing them grow old really has put it in perspective. Like, I saw them grow up. Like, like, there's no way in hell I would have been any better of a parent than them at fucking 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Oh. I barely can wipe my own ass. Like, that shit was fucking, like, you start thinking about that shit, and it really puts things in perspective. And that's why, for me at least, I was able to get over a lot of stuff when it was my time to really, am I going to keep on, holding resentment and letting these things hold me back? Or am I going to get over it, understand what it was, and try and build a better relationship with the people that I want to build a better relationship with?
Right. With the, because you never know. Everybody on this earth has limited time. We don't know how long we're here. So it's like you said, are you going to hold the resentment, or are you going to let shit go and, like, try to build better relationships off of that?
Yeah. And
we did pretty good there.
We're doing good time, buddy. We're doing good time.
You did good.
But, yeah, I mean, and
to dads. Actually, you might as well. Here you go.
Hey, yeah, because I'm about to get even deeper.
Oh, you need this, or I need this at least. Gotta listen. There's tits on the shot glass.
There's boobies on here. Yeah, damn, that was a rough shot. Yeah, but in the more recent years, like I would say probably the past 4 or 5 years, and this is something that, I mean, you could probably, you'll be able to relate to as well. Back to that point of, you just don't really know when your time is, and we don't know any of us when our time is going to come, when our time is up, when whatever you believe in, whether it's the universe, whether it's God, whether it's whatever God in your religion, when it's our time to go, you don't know what it is. So, like, and there's been plenty of examples from the time that I moved back down here to Florida from Pennsylvania to this point that it's like, you just don't know. You don't. The people that I was living with in Pennsylvania, so I moved up there for a year. My dad moved back down here in April time, and there was still like a month left on the lease in the townhouse that we were staying. But then after that, one of my coworkers let me stay at her house with her husband. They had an extra room. Literally like a month or so after I moved back down here, they had announced that, she was diagnosed with brain cancer. A year later, passed away. That shit fucking quick.
Damn.
Zach, we're gonna have him on the podcast soon. I've known him since I was 4 years old, close with his family. There was a point in time where I was there every fucking weekend. Like, I was like their second child. Dad, around, like, this was like 3-4 years ago, so he was probably in his late 50s. Got some type of infection, within like 24 to 48 hours, passed away, done, dead, just like that. I mean, me and I'm not going to get into this one, but, one of our friends, mom passed away like that. My grandfather, that's one that I had, a little bit more time because he was getting sick. He was 73 when he started getting tumors, and he died when he was 75. He died a month before his 75th birthday.
Yeah, so same with my grandparents. It was like they were very old and their health was deteriorating.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't make it any easier.
It doesn't, but at the same time, at least you're preparing for it.
Yeah, and
you know it's coming. When it's more
abrupt,
like the shit we mentioned, when it's sudden, out of the blue, like healthy one day, gone the next, those hurt more to me because it's like, even with this is my own grandparents. Like, I love my grandparents to death, but like on my dad's side, both Papi and Abuela, like Abuela had dementia and, had it, and it was, progressing, and her health was deteriorating for years.
Yeah.
Papi was 89 years old. And
that's a good long life.
After he had fallen at his house, and then we remodeled his whole house, got him like nurses and stuff to help him, and then he ended up moving with my dad. Lived with my dad for like almost a year, 2 years. Yeah. Before he, eventually passed. Yeah. So like we knew like it was gonna happen. Coming. Yeah. But it was like he was still okay. And the saddest thing in the world is Papi, mentally, even at 89 years old, mentally he was still there. His body just was not. Yeah. His body had been shut. I mean, he had diabetes and other things, through his life. So his body just finally stopped working on him.
And that's how it was with my grandfather. And like, I will never forget. It was almost a year ago, in the beginning of August, actually. And me and him, like, he was someone, and I mean, still to this day, like, he's who I want to like model my life after, in the sense of how he lived his life. He loved his family. He loved what he did for work. He lived for his family and work and in his faith and all that. And he was always, anybody that ever met him, anybody that I knew that talked about him, had nothing bad to say about this man guy. ever.
Great man.
And it was the last time that he went up to go, and we had all our family up there, on my dad's side. It was my grandparents, my aunts, my dad, because my dad had just got a new house. And he pulled me aside and, he told me, like, I'm ready. Like, this shit is fucking, I'm tired. Like, it's really taking over my body. Like, this is not how I want to live my life and all that shit. And it was like, at that moment, it was like, okay, like, it's happening soon. Like, I get, like, he's ready. Like, it's time. So, like, I was able to prepare for it a little bit longer. And then, obviously, a couple months went by and, his health starts deteriorating and you have your chance to say goodbye and say your goodbyes and all that shit. But, that was something that moment specifically was a very profound moment in my life because, again, like, he was someone that lived every day like that was his last day. He made sure the people that he saw, anybody, whether it was the fucking cashier at the fucking McDonald's when he went to go get his coffee, whether it was his customers, that he was a watchmaker, a jeweler, anybody, he made them feel like they were the most important person.
Special.
And that's something that, I want to, maybe not in exactly like that, but when it's my time, when I'm in my latter years, in my 50s, 60s, like that's how I want people to view me. That he lived life like it was his last. He loved people like it was his last day. He was happy every day, and that's kind of in this point in my life, I've had to cut off certain people. Certain people I don't talk to as much as I would like to. And it's a mixture of, life taking over, or, we've had some issues and had some falling outs and shit like that. But like, whether people might tell me like, it's better that you don't talk to them, this, that, whatever. But like, I'm at a point in my life where it's like, if I want to tell somebody that I care about them, that I love them, I hope they're having a good day, I got your back, whatever. Like, why shouldn't I? Like, why the fuck should I not? Like, I could.
I get what you're saying.
No, but like,
time out.
But like, not even that specific situation, but like, just in general, because there's friends that I have that I don't talk to as much that I would love to talk to as much.
I mean, we've had this discussion similar on a podcast where it's nothing against that person. Like, if you've loved someone or cared for someone, I feel like most people who watch the show, anyone who knows you knows this. If you've had a relationship with somebody and you've cared for them, there's no love lost. Just because we might not speak any day or every day, or months can go by, years can go by. There's no love lost. Like if I see you, I still wish the best for you regardless.
Yeah.
Whether I see you or I don't see you, I still wish you to have, to be happy. And I mean, I'm the same way. People I don't talk to anymore, whether it be on me or on them, like, I don't wish harm against anyone. I hope everyone's happy. I hope everyone is prospering in life. I hope everyone can, follow their dreams, accomplish their goals, like, live life to the fullest. Because like Eric was saying, we don't know when our last day is. So,
No shit.
by any means, get it. However you want to get it. And I feel like people would know that, especially coming from you or myself. Like, if I've ever cared for you, ever talked to you before, like, on a deeper level, like, friendship is one thing, but, like, even on a deeper level, like, past relationships that went sour or,
bad timing.
Bad time. Whatever the case may be, like, I don't wish anything ill against you. It doesn't mean, like,
No, but it still fucking sucks. Like, it's not like
part of life.
Yeah, it's not,
it sucks, but that's
wishing.
part of life.
And again, people that wish bad on anybody, like, listen,
Yeah,
there's been a
that.
few people that I don't like, but I don't wish anything bad on them.
I don't understand that.
And that's the one, like, you get what's coming your way. I'm not saying, like, I want bad shit to happen, but if bad shit happens to you, it's probably for a fucking reason. But, like,
True.
even then, like, it's an example that I'll use. My little brother, he's he's had trouble, growing up, and he's had issues and things like that. And, it's what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? It has
Accumulated.
not accumulated. It has fucking golly, jeez, into adulthood. It has fucking
Follow him
into adulthood. That works.
Okay.
And he keeps on doing the same shit.
He's repeating a cycle of events.
Exactly. And
That's more on his choices.
it is, but he's hurt a lot of people that I care about, and that I care about, family and shit like that.
That's the fucked up thing about choices.
One thing, and I've told him this before.
People's choices leads to, repercussions, leads to hurting others. Even if you don't mean to, like, people don't understand that every action has a reaction.
Yeah.
And, like, some people think, like, oh, I'm not doing anything, it's not hurting anybody. But they don't know who's looking out for them or who's wishing them for their best interest.
Yeah.
You know?
But like him,
like even when we were younger, we didn't think we were doing bad shit.
Oh, no. We
Like,
didn't.
the dumb shit we've both done, like, we didn't think that was bad.
Yeah, it was just dumb.
But, like, then you see who it hurts. Like, when you do tell them.
Yeah.
And then you see, like, people's reactions and you realize how bad some things you've done that you think are minuscule.
Yeah.
And you're like, it was only me. It only happened to me. Why are you getting mad about it?
Yeah.
And it's because they poured so much of their own heart or their own love into us that they're like, that action has effect on me as well. And it's like,
well, and I mean,
that's what you realize later in life, like you were saying. Once you're growing up, and that's all he needs to do. Once, like, he keeps...
I mean,
it's going to happen.
To do a lot of growing up, not just a little bit. But, that was, back to my point. Like, that was somebody that, like, again, like, I'm 5 years older than him. Like, he looks at me like...
You're an example.
I'm the guy, and, like...
Let's show him how to make it a little faster.
And I've told him, again, back to my point, like, I told him, I love you. I don't wish anything bad on you, but, like, the things that you have coming in your life, you deserve at this point, because you've done a lot of people wrong, and you've taken advantage of a lot of people that didn't deserve that.
And some things will happen like that. Some things, but that's a thing as well. Like, I believe, I know a lot of people believe in karma.
Mm-hmm.
Do I per se? I don't know, because there's good people who bad shit happens to, and there's bad people that nothing bad happens to. So it's like, I don't really think of, like, oh, if I'm a good person, because I mean it's in everybody's, their own spiritual walks in life, whoever their higher power is. I mean, I believe in God, so that's a different thing. You don't atone to your sins by, like, oh, I'm a good person, like,
yeah.
Like, if you know you're a sinner, you're a sinner. And I know I'm a sinner.
We all are.
But like some people think like, for some reason, some people think like, oh, but I do so much good that this can't be that bad. That's not how life works. Yeah. Do good, be good to your neighbor, love other people. You're supposed to treat others how, you want to be treated, and even go past that. Like we've said on other episodes, it doesn't take much to make someone's day.
No, it doesn't.
You could give somebody a compliment, open a door for somebody. The little things in life that like, it might not matter to other people. It might not even matter to you. You might not want to do it. Fucking do it. Simple little shit. But going off of what you said, like you telling him these things he's got coming, you might be right, because doing those things might have led that way. But even if it doesn't happen, if nothing bad happens to him, it doesn't. Like I said, I don't know about karma. Like I don't really think that's a thing, because there's people who deserve to get like bad shit happening to them,
get got, and they don't.
And it's not gonna happen. And then there's people who might not have done something that bad. They might have hurt a person accidentally, or like they just don't know any better. Is all I'm going off of. Like what I'm trying to say is like, that's in the growing up process. The more people know about themselves, the more people know about like right from wrong and like choices. Everything in life comes down to choices.
Sure does.
And like it took a long time for me to realize that. Like I'm thinking like, oh, the littlest shit I do, that doesn't affect anybody besides myself. But it does. It was my choice to do so. And then the repercussions, that's on me.
Yeah.
Because like that was my choice to do it. So it doesn't matter if it didn't affect me like this. It might have affected this person, XYZ people. But like that's on me technically.
Yeah. No.
So it's like you got to, at a certain point, he's going to have to realize that even the smallest shit he does could affect other people, and it is on him.
Yeah.
But that's just a part of growing up. Like I wasn't, and I mean he's not that much younger than us, but
no.
I mean,
but he is getting to that point in his life, especially, and I can't really speak for women as much, obviously, but for men, it comes a lot quicker, where it's like, all right, you start getting to a certain age, people don't look at it as oh, he's just, dumb and young. And people start looking at it as like, okay, well, he's this age now. Like, this is not, this is just a fucking pattern now. Like, this is who he is. And that's
correct.
when
it's sad to say,
it becomes harder to
but people will
build
look
those
at you,
bridges back.
People will look at you as a fuck up when you're a man if you start doing the same, or if you keep doing the same shit. Mm-hmm. If you did it and you move on from it and you grow from it, that's one thing. If you keep doing the same shit and you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a young man as, 18 to 23, 18 to 25. You're a young man and you keep doing the same shit. And like you said, it becomes a pattern. People realize this.
Yeah.
People will stop giving you opportunities.
The benefit of the doubt.
And stop giving you the benefit of the doubt to fix it, because they're like, listen, we've given you XYZ of chances and you've shown us repeatedly this is what you're going to do.
Well, and
so then people aren't, offering that olive branch, offering that piece of, oh, no, let me help you. Because you've severed so many ties accidentally, that people are like, fuck it, get it out the mud yourself.
Yep. And that was a big part of like my own maturation, like as growing up, like and becoming, an adult, and like physically, yes, but like mentally, that mentality. It was, my family, my friends, people who opinions I hold, near and dear. They see me in a certain light. They see me in a certain light right now. It's not necessarily how I want them to see me. I'm fucking up right now. I'm starting to fall into a certain pattern. Now I'm at that point, and again, it was around like 23, 24 years old. It was like I'm at a point where it's like I'm gonna start creeping into that age where it's like, okay, well, this is just a pattern of behavior for him. I was able to take those life lessons that life threw at me and
apply yourself somewhere different.
Now we're gonna fucking like, am I gonna keep on doing this shit, or am I gonna, I know who I am as a person, I know all that shit, now let me just apply it in a more productive way. Instead of having like a kid's mentality of, I want things now, I want this now, I want to make shit now, I want to make shit quick now. Like, I feel like the shift from childhood to adulthood is understanding you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Shit that comes easy does not last. The shift from childhood to adulthood is, I understand I got to put in work to get what I want.
Or just those promises from when you're young. For instance, people tell you, like, if you work hard, anything is possible. And that's the truth. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people, like you're saying, want something but haven't put in any work to get it.
Yep.
And then, like, even in more recent years, like, you and me both, like, we want certain shit to happen, but we might have given, a little bit of effort, but that ain't going to make it happen.
It wasn't enough.
So, like, and even, I mean, as of our No Hangover listeners, no. Shit, we've been at this for what, 4.5? 4.5 years at this point.
2019.
Yeah, 4.5, because maybe not exactly 4.5, but close to it.
Yeah.
And it was on us. I mean, it's going to keep going. No Hangover is never ending. I mean, this is...
No Hangover is forever.
To infinity and beyond. But it's one of those things where, like, we gave effort. Don't get us wrong, but like
it wasn't enough effort.
It was a collective group of people, and all of our effort wasn't always there.
Yeah.
Eric, I mean, me and Eric have had this conversation plenty of times. Eric is, I always like to give Dennis credit, and Dennis is the heart and soul, but Eric is, or if Dennis is the soul, for instance, Eric is the heart that never has stopped pumping. So it's like one of those things where I'm the face. We all know this. I'm the face of this shit. This guy's the heart. Dennis is the soul. Jordan, I wanted him to be the brains for the longest, but we all got our own shit going on.
Life takes over, man. Listen, no hard feelings.
It doesn't mean No Hangover isn't a part of any of us, because it is. This is a family affair. Like, we all are doing our things. But that's just to go along with Eric's point of, you got to get to a point as a man where you realize, listen, you can't lie to yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You gotta wake up.
Not even as a man, just as an adult.
Yeah.
Man
or woman.
Women need to do the same thing. And
I was
blessed to have very strong women, especially my sisters. And I will always give them credit for that. Very strong, knowing what they want, independent women, and fucking kill me for saying this. Women are women. They're going to do what they're going to do. The same thing as men. Men are men. They're going to do what they're going to do. But, like, there's just certain standards that you hold for people once they get to a certain age. Like, once you become an adult, like, you can still be yourself. And this is something that I've preached to my little brother and preached to people that feel like, oh God, I'm growing up, I gotta be an adult. No one's saying you can't have fun. No one's saying you can't make jokes.
You can't act like
act
like a child.
You can act like a child, but make sure your shit is taken care of. Because you can ask anybody. I'm a fucking goofy, fucking laid back, chill. Like, I be saying some off the wall shit, but I make sure my shit's taken care of. Like, if I gotta pay bills, I make sure that shit's taken care of before I have fun. You can still have the same personality, but part of, again,
it's just knowing responsibilities.
Exactly. That shift from childhood to adulthood is understanding that you need to take care of certain shit before you can have your fun, before you could do this. And you could still be a silly fucker and still pay your bills.
Yeah, for instance, anyone who's known me from, I would say 2000, I mean, even earlier than this, but I'll go to like 2016, 2017, till now. Shit, you knew I was downtown. Like, I was in the party scene. Like,
in the streets.
Yeah. King of the streets.
Don't let Helen hear that.
Oh, thank you. No, not in the streets in that way. Relax, baby, relax. But I'm just saying, in the streets, as in, like, would party, would, drink, would do my shit.
No, you had your fun. You lived your life, as you should.
But I was still making sure, like, I was at work every fucking day at 7 a.m.
That is fucking true.
Even if I was out till 3 fucking a.m.
Yeah, some of that shit I was like, God damn, how the fuck do you do that?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I was off adrenaline or something, because it's not even adrenaline. Honestly, I just knew I had prior like,
it's just knowing what you have to do.
Something important every man should know. Your word is your bond.
Yep.
So if you say something, you better follow through.
Yep.
So that was part of my whole fucking logic, and part of my growing up is my dad instilled that in me. Like, we work hard, but we party harder. So, like, if you're partying, that's fine. Have a life, have a fun time. But if you say you're gonna be somewhere, you better fucking be there.
Facts.
And, like, trust me, I had a lot of long nights where it was like I was partying, having a blast, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta work. And I've worked a lot of Saturdays in my life. People think, oh, I can't wait till Friday. Friday don't mean shit to me.
Sunday is the day.
Yeah, Sunday is my like sleep in day, but that ain't even it either because I would wake up and go to church.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
But yeah, Sunday fun day was a thing at one point in my life for a long time.
Bear, you don't got to worry about all that shit being a man,
Bloop.
manhood. So cute though.
You're a lucky boy. Lucky boy.
Real shit. They
But
took your
luckily,
balls
I
from you
mean,
young.
granted, we've been, having fun, cutting up, drinking a little bit. No hangover style, as always. But starting next month, September, my birthday month.
Yeah, September's gonna be.
I
a
ain't
fucking,
doing a damn thing.
It's gonna for both of us.
For the shit. All right, so my birthday is. I think it falls on a Friday. Honestly,
does it? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, for both of us, it's gonna be.
And the first is a Friday too.
Man, listen, I've been fucking chilling. I've been having to fucking do what I gotta do to get by and shit. But if you start seeing me pop out a little bit more and being a little bit more active, like it's because it has been well deserved and it's because I've been putting in the work for it, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it right.
All of September, for instance, for 20, because I mean, there's more day. My birthday's on the 29th, but for 20 straight days, that's Monday through Fridays only. Saturday and Sunday, don't ask me shit. I'll be at the gym. Anyone wants to see me, they'll find me at the gym at 5:45 in the morning. No, I mean, I go to the gym every day still.
How many times you went to the gym this week?
3.
All right, bet we're on this.
But I'm saying, coming, September, I'm going back to my normal 5 days a week, Monday through Friday.
I'm still working
at
towards that.
6 a.m.
We're getting there. I'm about 5 days a week, and at this point, a little injury update. With my Achilles, I feel like right now I'm a little bit ahead of schedule at this point. Like as far as the, gaining the strength back in my foot, in my leg, my calf, all that shit, and just little things like if I'm working outside or whatever, like I'll just jump off my left foot real quick, even if it's a little jump, or like just push off my left foot a little bit, harder than I usually would. And the strength is there. At this point, there's still some stiffness or some tenderness, and like obviously I still got to watch it because it's only been 4.5 months. And for Achilles, with or without surgery, it's a 6 to 9 month recovery. But I'm getting to that point where the strength is building back, and I just need to start getting over the fear of like, oh fuck, if I push, because the way that my injury happened, for anybody that doesn't know, non-contact, I just pushed off my left foot and heard a pop, and that was a fucking wrap. So I'm closer to the point of like, all right, like the strength is getting back now. I just got to get over the fear of, I got to trust my foot again. Essentially, I got to trust my leg and trust that like I've put in the work that on both legs too, because a lot of with like ACL injuries and leg injuries and shit like that, especially leg injuries, that your off leg, your good leg, you start overcompensating. Then once you get back to it, Klay Thompson's perfect example. You get back to it, you tear fucking something on the other leg, whether it's a ACL, an Achilles, whatever, a meniscus, and then you're right back to square one. So that's something that I've been really focusing on, is like making sure that my injured leg is good, but also making sure that like I'm stretching the fuck out of my good leg, keeping it mobile, keeping my hips good, my knees, all that shit and all that. So then
I need to do a better job of stretching, honestly.
Yeah, I
really do.
I've had no choice for like fucking like 4 months. I really I didn't really have a choice because I couldn't really do. I'm just now like for the past 3 weeks been able to, start doing machines and strength training and shit like that. So
I was on a tear through like for a couple months. That morning workouts, I'm telling you, they're different, and I was enjoying them. But August hit, I went on that cruise. Then I had 2 weeks back of normal working, fucking like a damn slave, and then I'm going to another vacation this weekend.
Been living it up, bro, as you should.
Fun life. But damn,
it's just starting to catch up.
It's not only the expenses, but just workout wise, like my schedule.
Yeah,
like. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it's fun to break routine, but like,
it's hard. That's the hardest part.
I like being in a routine, and that's what's a fun thing about, or a great thing for me about September. It's my birthday month. Like, I already know what's good. I will work out 20 straight days, my birthday included. Waking up at 5:30, be at the gym by 6 in the morning, get my workout in, and then my day is my day. I don't even know if I'm working on my birthday. It's a Friday. I probably will work on my birthday. Who am I kidding? I'll be working on my birthday. But I'll be at the gym on my birthday, 6 in the morning. I'm going to do chest. I'm going to make sure I'm going to do chest on my birthday, though.
Get a nice chest pump.
Yeah, it's always a fun time. Faja.
Dad.
What time we at?
We just hit an hour. And I feel like I was looking for snippets to pull. Now it's going to be hard to, I'm going to be pulling everything. Like, that shit is fucking,
Yeah, he talked from the hot.
Bro, I need to fucking
Call this guy back.
one more thing. I just, there's been and it's obviously, from life experiences and how you grow up and things like that. But I've realized that a lot of good things have passed me by because when it starts feeling too good, I start thinking like, man, like this can't be like, in a sense, like I
self-doubt.
like I don't feel like I deserve it in a sense.
You deserve the world. Don't sell
And that's
yourself
what I
short.
need to, and that's where I'm at in my.
That could be like people can say like I'm cocky, and you can say whatever the fuck you want. I'm telling you, you deserve the world. Don't think anything different.
And that's what I need to start believing in myself. And it's been a lot of.
Y'all say I'm the cocky, ignorant, fucking. He's so confident, or he's delusional. Fuck it. No, I'm me, and that's what it is. You got to start thinking that you deserve everything. This life, you got one shot at it.
Yeah, we do.
So you might as well do. You might as well live it up.
Hey,
make the best of it.
I'm trying, brother. Listen, like I said, these next couple months are gonna be a little,
It's for everyone out there again listening, men and women. You got 4 months. 4 months until 2024.
What you gonna do with it?
Make the most of it.
What you gonna do with it? I know I'm gonna fucking. I already got a fucking plan for the next 2 months of how shit needs to go and what I need to take care of. And fucking.
All I can say to everyone else is make a plan, stick to it. It doesn't have to necessarily be working out. Like, I mean, if that's your prerogative or priorities, by all means, do it. But if it's financially, if it's, spiritually, if it's physically, make a plan and stick to it.
Amen.
Consistency is key.
Amen, brother. A fucking man.
But
with that,
any last words for the people?
Oh shit, you hitting me with the
I mean, it was kind of.
Hey, listen.
A little Eric heavy.
Yeah, if you got a goal, if you got plans, if you have a vision of what you want your life to be, fucking stick to it. Make it happen. It'll happen.
You can do it.
Because I feel like that's where we're both at this point. We have a goal, we have a vision, we know what we want, and it's just
I'll be damned if it doesn't happen.
Facts. It's just a matter of fucking sticking to it. And, these past 4 months for me, not only just, the past year and a half, but these past 4 months specifically have like, if I didn't know already, this was just reinforcement on like fucking just do what the fuck you want to do and stick to it. Because like Jacob said, we got one life, so you got to make the most of that shit. So
better live it up. Don't have any regrets,
brother. Beautiful, beautiful. And with that, everybody love everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Deuces.